What is quacking, everybody? So Mario Kart World has been out for about a week and a half now, and it's been a pretty enjoyable time if I do say so myself. However, is it worth the $80 that the game is priced at? That has been one of the biggest contention points. The launch title of the Switch 2, if you didn't get the bundle, that game's $80. With the bundle, it was $50. So is it worth the $80? Mario Kart World does have a lot to do in it that could also justify that price. Mario Kart World has your stereotypical Grand Prix, knockout tours, battles, open world puzzles, random events, and unlockables. So with regular Grand Prix, it's your stereotypical race around the map, do a couple laps, and, maybe win, get a trophy or whatever, assert your dominance over those randoms in your lobby, which is very fun. And I think with the new grinding mechanics and how you can drive on the wall, I think that really gives the game a lot of fluidity and really drew me back into the series, because I've been playing Mario Kart since the Super Nintendo. I guess that shows my age a little bit, but Super Nintendo, N64, I love Double Dash to death, but once I got to the DS and Mario Kart 8, the game kind of just wore down on me a little bit and really just wasn't as fun and felt very repetitive. With these new grinding mechanics, the game feels a lot more fresh and I feel more expressive in my movement. You can drive on that wall over there, or maybe someone hits you or you do a weird turn or whatever, but it turns out it works out in your favor because you can just grind on the wall or grind on that railing that's right there. So there's a lot of fluidity that keeps you moving in Mario Kart World compared to other games. And it makes the typical game mode of Grand Prix a little bit more enjoyable. Now, Knockout Tours is super fun, as you have to go in with a strategy. Are you going to try and be front of the pack and keep up there consistently? Or are you going to hang back, get items, and start blasting people from the back? Are you going to, have like a mix of in between where, at the beginning you stay in the back, but then later on you just kind of get to the front? There's so many different things you can do in Knockout Tour with your strategy, and I think that Knockout mode is an amazing addition to Mario Kart. It's really refreshing to kind of force you to be like, yeah, do you have the endurance to keep going? Do you have the brain power, the thought process, the plan to just kind of keep going and get through all 6 laps or 7 or 8 laps and just kind of be the victor? Because that's all it is. Knockout Tour is just an endurance race, and if you have the plan to last that long, you're probably going to win. And it's very rewarding when you win Knockout Tours because, your plan worked, whatever you were doing worked, and your driving was superior to others, and you just made it. So Knockout Tour feels like a very rewarding system. Battles used to be very boring. They were fun for a little bit, fun to play with your friends and stuff like that. I remember playing on the DS with my family and friends, and it'd be fun, having some battles and stuff like that. It was silly, it was fun. But battles in World feel a lot different. They feel more impactful. The maps that you play on feel lively in a way where it's just like you can drive around and you have all these players, and I think that does add a lot to the game where there's 24 players now. It's not just like a handful of people. There's a lot of people in these games now, and I think that adds to the thrill of everything as well. So battles feeling a lot more full, more lively. I've really enjoyed battles, specifically balloon battles. I think balloon battles are the most fun, and I think with all the new people and all like having the big lobbies, battles are just really fun. Now, one of the new things about Mario Kart World is it's open. It's an open world game. You can drive around and do whatever you want. And is the open world worth it? There's a couple things in the open world that you can do. You have puzzles and there's random events. I would call them random events because there's just things that happen. You can go fight charging trucks that are just driving around. You're just driving around and things just happen. There was like a UFO or something like that I saw when driving around. There's just things that happen in the world, and the world feels so alive. You'll just be driving around and you'll see NPCs just racing. They're just racing, and for some reason when I was driving around and I saw them racing, I just joined them for no reason. I just hopped in the race and just started racing around with them. Nothing to gain, just racing the NPCs for no reason. And also the different, I wouldn't say puzzles, more like the P-switch trials. Those things are so fun. And the way they set them up, it's not just basic drive through these rings. There was one in the one autumn area where you can get the sushi bags from. That one was insane, having to grind on the rails with high precision. Like, I had to be very precise to actually land and get all of these rings, and that was really cool, having to do all of that, because it also teaches you about the mechanics of the game and how, precise you can be with them, how grinding really works, and the different things you can do with grinding and driving around. And I think that's really cool that there's these P-switch trials just around the map. And then on top of that, I guess, like, the collectibles, the hidden collectibles, driving around, getting those boxes, they're hidden everywhere. There's one, like, behind a curtain in Big Boo's, the theater, that one. There's one, like, behind the curtain. Wouldn't even known if I wasn't driving around in free roam, just kind of hopping off the walls, and I was like, oh, that's there. Let me go grab that. So these little hidden collectibles, the trials, and the, random events, those bring the world to life a lot, and it's very fun because it allows you to be mindless in a way, and it's very relaxing in certain scenarios because you just drive around. Like, you just go for a drive and just, oh, I'm gonna do that P-switch trial over there, or I just want to hop in the water. And when you get in the water, there's boats that you can get in the boat and drive around in the boat. And then there's also big trucks on the road that you can get in the big truck and drive around in the truck. And that's cool. That's just random silliness that they didn't need to add to the game, but they did. And it's fun. You can just have fun while driving around. And I think that gives the game a lot of uniqueness because we haven't really had an open world driving game besides The Crew. But I feel like in The Crew, it just didn't feel how Mario Kart feels with the game and everything. It just, Mario Kart World just feels so nice to just roam around and have that freedom, drive on the walls, grind on railings. And I think that's what really sets Mario Kart World as an open world driving game from The Crew, is just the difference in mechanics. Mario Kart World also has a lot of unlockables as well. There's so many different costumes, and driving on the map to get the different foods that will give you the different costumes is kind of fun to do. Like I said, driving around the open world's fun, and then you just go around. The easiest way to get a lot of unlockables is the Shy Guy Bazaar, and you just drive around in there, and you'll get like a decent amount of the costumes, and you got to go grab a couple more. Also, unlocking different characters is different because you have to get hit by Kamek, and then it'll turn you into like one of those random characters. Like, you unlock the Dry Bones fish, or you unlock Spike by someone throwing a Kamek at you and, transforming you, which is kind of fun and unique. It is kind of annoying if you want to get all the characters because it's RNG to a degree, but I think that's a very unique way to unlock characters. Is like, yeah, when you're playing, you'll just unlock them because someone throws Kamek at you. And all of this tied together, when you play online, all of the different races and everything, they're so hectic. The races are just a giant conglomerate of RNG. Like, you're going to be getting, you can go from first place and then all the way back to the bottom, or you can go from all the way to the bottom, all the way to the top. And it's just a back and forth, constant fight. Red shells, blue shells, even green shells, bananas, everything will just hit you. And because there's so many people and everybody's just so close together, you're more than likely running into people's shells and getting knocked around yourself, and it's like fun and annoying at the same time. And that's what also makes your races more rewarding, is when you're in online and you're running through that, just disgusting, hectic pack of just everybody hitting each other. Everyone's always trading places constantly. And that's what makes it fun when you win, because you had to suffer through mayhem to get that first place. Like, the amount of games where I just get first place and I had to like slog through getting hit with shells and pushed around by bullet bills and crushed by people with big mushrooms, and then you get that first place and you're like, I did it. I made it through just grueling slog and disgustingness to get to first place. And that's what makes the game feel rewarding. But with all these features, is it worth $80? I think it's still up to the person. There's nothing in the game that makes me go, oh no, don't buy it. It is a grade up from Mario Kart 8 in so many different ways. The new mechanics, all the unlockables, the amount of content, and the way the game at least makes me feel. It feels like, yes, $80 was a lot, but I've had so much fun with that $80. I've just had a fun time, and the $80 has really been worth it for me in the long run because I just get to play with my friends, drive around by myself, unlock things, and just have a really good time. And just, win races, just try my best to win races and put myself to the test. And, these 24-man lobbies where people are just throwing things at you nonstop. So I think it's still up to the person if you think it's worth $80, but it's a lot of fun. And it's kind of like, oh, if you don't get the game, you don't get to play with your friends and experience it. But if you do get the game, well, it's $80. But I think the amount of fun does outweigh, the $80 price tag to a degree. I think you can get a lot out of this game with that $80. It's still a hefty price tag, but I think it could be worth it in the end. Those are my thoughts. That's my, review on Mario Kart World. It's been a blast. I've really enjoyed the game. If you haven't gotten it yet, consider getting it. It's a fun time. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.